Hey, live on Pat Soundbites Unplugged podcast, rocking and rolling, keeping new music alive. And as you see, I got one of my favorite shirts on, the Loyal Order, and I'll get out of the way in a second here because they got a killer track just released this June, I should say, on the EMP label group titled Last Words. And oh my goodness, boy, does this give me goosebumps, and I'll share that with you in a minute. Right now, because I love promoting new music and I love these guys, I want to play that track, a little bit of the video.
Looking back, ain't it funny that you were wrong with? In the eyes of a broken child, love is like a venom. I might have waited for the words to fail. Sacrifice the good lies, let the pain burial. So I say goodbye, complicated. Just a mile from the single fire, pray for one last sin. Lay your hands on my open eyes, help me to unsee this. I'll write your fortune on this forward prayer. Red skies and morning echoes in midnight. So I say goodbye, feel the weight of it.
How cool is that? And look who we got in the house.
What's up, brother? How you doing, Squid?
I got Mr. Jeff Buehner. I got Brandon Cook of the Loyal Order. Brandon's rocking it with his guitar riff. Holy shit. Gotta go to their website to watch the rest of their website, their YouTube channel. Go to their website, theloyalorder.com. Buy a shirt. Where you better have this. I don't know where the hell you've been. All right, let me figure out how to shut this guy off.
If you go to either of our pages, we got like links and bio.
If you want to watch the rest of it, and I encourage you certainly to watch the rest of it, and you can download it. It's on all the platforms, right, guys, as we speak right now, until they come up with their next EP or album, because I like Spotify, but see, they can't autograph Spotify like they can do with their killer debut album.
You're working on that via blockchain technology and NFTs. So I'm kidding. that's
leave it to Dave and Tom. Come on, what are you doing to me? Anyway,
we're going to get into our avatars and go into Web3, and we're going to hand deliver NFTs to your avatar.
Yeah.
Personal experience, and we won't even have to leave our couch. We are in the matrix.
You guys, I tell you, got a smile on my face. I love this track. I have no idea what the hell you're talking about. Bing coins and all that crap. I'm a dinosaur.
I don't either. To
What
be
the hell
honest,
do I know?
sound
Well,
dangerous.
but we go from Ready for Dead, Hellfire, Fucker Fight, and then you guys pulled this one out of the hat. And I got to tell you, I love every bit of it. I mean, it threw me totally off, but it really resonates with me. It's got this swampy church darkness kind of thing going on. And I don't know, I'm a lyric guy, and I just lost a buddy of mine. It's a really sad story, but music has a way of doing things. And while he was taking his last breath, we cranked down a little 50s music because that's what he loved. And he's at the Great Tavern up in heaven as we speak. And I think of this song and last words, and I know what the last words he told me was like, take this fucking vent out of my mouth and end it, or his last breath. And what will be our last words? I mean, I dig in so much, Jeff and Brandon, and I don't know even if that's the angle or direction that you guys were going with the track. But when I see the church and the swampiness, and I love the whole video, am I on the right track? I mean, I got goosebumps because it's almost 2 months since my buddy died, and you guys pulled this great track out, and I've been playing it, and the feedback is like unbelievable.
Wow.
I mean, Fucker Fight did really well and charted. If this thing don't chart, you guys, all the tracks actually charted from the debut album that you released. If this thing don't chart, I don't know what the hell people are doing, but I'll shut up my mouth and let you guys go from there.
Yeah, man, the song you said pulled this one out of the hat. That song actually just kind of landed in the hat. I was bored one night, and I'm not much of a guitar player, but I write on an acoustic guitar, and then I get a semblance of a chord progression put together, and I call the maestro over here, and he does that. Then he always adds all his cool things to it. And literally, I was sitting right here when it landed, and it wouldn't leave me alone. And I actually kind of became possessed by it for a few weeks. I drove everybody crazy, and myself included. But it's just kind of, I found this open tuning. I literally Googled open tunings, and so I was looking for something different, just something that would be inspirational. And I found the open tuning for the Rain Song by Led Zeppelin. And that's where it started. And I ended up plucking out the verse melody and kind of started singing along with that, but I didn't really have anything. But the first solid part that came to me was coins in my eyes, what will my last words be? And that melody just kind of popped out when I found the second little part of the chord progression. And that's when I called Brandon, and he came over here and took the simple chord progression that I had figured out with this open tuning. And then he added all his cool voicings to that, and then wrote the intro, the two parts of the intro, the middle section and the outro. And he just made, the parts that I had done, he just took them to a whole new level. And what was exciting about it is with this song, it's like, because it's an open tuning, none of us have go-to riffs that we can play, because it's a different tuning. It's like, unless you experiment a lot with an open tuning, open G or whatever, those are kind of normal, but this one's kind of out there a little bit, and then Brandon actually changed the open tuning and dropped the bottom string and made it a whole new tuning. And it turned into this really cool thing, and I'm sure you can take it from there.
Jeff wrote the in a certain key that didn't really, for me, it didn't really make it work all together with that particular tuning. So I just went, screw it, I'm gonna drop this low B to a low B, and it made it easier for me to get chord progressions going and finish the ideas. And then when you get in the studio with Rob, and he doesn't know the chord or the tuning, so he's just like, can you do this? Can you do that? And I'm like, I don't know. Let's figure it out.
Yeah, it was all kind of feel our way through the dark kind of with it, even Brandon's guitar solo. Brandon's obviously a very well-versed musician. He's an encyclopedia of music and inspiration. But in this one, like he kind of had to push his realm a little bit and just kind of feel his way through this guitar solo because there's no go-tos. You know, there's no automatic, hey, I'm gonna do this riff. It was all feel, and it was all feel and note selection, you know, and it was an inspiration. That's why if you notice his guitar solo in the song, it's different than what he normally does. And it's got a bunch of weird little switchbacks in it and codas, kind of like it keeps going back like this, and you know, and it turned out amazing, man. I'm really proud of what he did, and Patrick nailed the bass part. He got experimental, and Kyle, of course, just crushed the drums, you know. So
what was Dave and Tom's thought when you say, hey guys, listen to what we did here? I mean, even you guys, when you look at each other, you go, we touched upon something. I mean, that's really, really there. I mean, it's a great track.
We received it. We didn't really, it just kind of happened, you know. Dave and Tom aren't working together right now. So
okay.
Tom and Dave are hence since split, and but we're still working with Tom. Dave is, you know, doing some other new stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, Tom was like, holy shit, man, that's sick, you know. So yeah.
Where did you get the idea with the last words? Where did you get the lyric part? What was in your mind that you said? Like
I had been toying with that phrase. After I wrote that chorus, the lyrics to that chorus, or the pre-chorus, I mean, I was like, where did that come from? And then I looked back to, like, I do a lot of, like, you know, stream of consciousness kind of stuff. Like if I'm at a show and a lyric pops into my head, I'll just start writing. And then I was going through my notes and I found it. I'd actually written it down months and months before, just, but it was like in a different context.
Gotcha.
And then in another line, it had the coins in my eyes part.
That's like a Jimmy Hoffa before they throw the guy in the river, where they tie him in the back and go, see ya, bye.
See, that's where I thought I was going with it, as kind of a mafia kind of a thing. But then I realized, I looked back and I'm like, that goes further back than, you know, Jimmy Hoffa. It goes back to like folklore, and it's like coins. And I looked it up, and after I wrote the lyrics to the chorus too, by the way, because there was a water connection. I didn't even realize it, but in folklore, they used to put coins in people's eyes, like in the 1600s or something like that. And it was very fair to cross the river Styx into the afterworld.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Wow. So then when you did the video, you got to have the water, you got to add all these elements in to really tell the story of the song.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
If you look at old Western movies, sometimes they have the coins in the eyes and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, true.
Like The Unforgiven, like when they had Morgan Freeman's character pinned up against the whorehouse, you can see the coins in his eyes, I think, if I'm remembering right.
How symbolic is that? What were the coins? What would they use the coins at the whorehouse for?
Oh, I don't know.
Brandon, what did you think when you first he's got to get bored more often, because when you hit the ball out of the park like this track, he says he's sitting home when he was bored.
For me, it's always like, it's a great idea. Let's get worked. Let's work on it, you know. And we just we start chopping it down, you know, like where's this going to go? What do you think of this? How does this go? Like, da-da-da. And then pretty much as soon as I get my hands on it, I start hearing something, you know. It's like, ooh, what do you think of this? And then I just start tossing ideas at him, since he was the primary song generator on this tune. I was just like, what do you think of that? What do you think of this? What do you think of that? Does this go with it? Does this go with it? You know? And then like for me, like the solo was all after all the songwriting and production, everything was done until I got to that, because I wanted to make sure we had the killer drums, the killer bass, the killer guitars, all the vocals. And then it's like, when you put sort of like the icing on top, you don't want to be missing something. For me, like, I always want to be like the last person to do something when I'm doing guitar solo, so it fits, you know. I don't want to write a guitar solo and when I got done, you know, we were talking about it, and I was just like, man, this isn't really a guitar solo at all. It's more like just an instrumental interlude, you know, more like something. So when I think of music and composition, I think a lot like I really love Beethoven. I love classical composers. So I try to think of things with like, well, in classical, they call it motivic development. It's basically like you take a melody and you spin it out with a bunch of variations so that it keeps the listener interested in this original idea. You know, like the opening line of Beethoven's Fifth Symphony is just da 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 dum, da 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 dum. It starts with 3 notes, and he makes an entire symphony out of that. So I always try to think, if he can make an entire symphony out of that, I can make a guitar solo or a riff or an entire song based on something like that. So I try. That's what I tried to do with this, and it really just, I think, made it right. You know, with it balanced out with all the things that Rob was doing, all the things that Jeff was doing, and all the things that Patrick and Kyle were doing, and just dug into the groove when I played it. So
isn't that what it's really about? I mean, you guys got such great chemistry, and then somebody comes up with this idea, and like you just said, Brandon, you roll up your sleeves and you try different things. It doesn't have to be the same old, G chord or whatever. You go, well, why don't we do this? Why don't we do that? And then you look at this track, and it's like, Jeff, do you think, is this one of the best songs you have ever written or released?
I feel like it's definitely right up there, man. I mean, like we always just try to like give every song what it deserves, like, I mean, you have to be intentional, and we try to take every song that we do and have it be our best song, for whatever that particular sound is, so, and dude, this, yeah, I mean, it's got some really cool responses from some different types of people too, and like, before, most of our stuff is just more driving rock kind of stuff. And this one was, it was kind of like on the first album we did a song called Half Life, and it's kind of in that, tempo range ish. And but it's got a lot of, it was really interesting that you said swampy when you were talking.
When you look at the video, I'm like, it brings you to like, I don't know. It brought me to like a dark, when I see water and dark and a couple of trees, I think, okay, bayou. I mean, what the hell is it? I got nothing left in here, but I'm thinking, trying to understand it all. And I go, wow, it's got this swampy. Then you show the church, and I'm thinking, well, right away, I'm thinking death, the last words. I'm like, holy shit. But I go, that's my interpretation. That might not be your interpretation. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was picturing swampy when I first started plunking around with that chord progression. It sounded swampy to me, and I kept using that word. So I like that you picked that word up. But obviously you saw the video but it was like, but yeah, it's got that swampy vibe to it, and that's just kind of what it felt like to me, And the video ended up being a little bit less organic and a little, leaning towards gothic, I wanted to say. But yeah, it's just, yeah, it did turn out great, man. It was like, rock too, the video as well. So
taking a step back, I think of you guys and think of this track, and I'm like, November Rain, Guns N' Roses, Motley Crue, Home Sweet Home, even Kiss with Beth. I mean, I just, after Fuck for Fight, I'm thinking, okay, I can't wait for the next track. And then you guys threw out this, and I'm like, this is perfect. I mean, this is just freaking perfect. The video is so polished and so well produced with the girl, the church. I mean, did you go to different locations? The water? How did that all work?
The most of the video was all shot green screen.
Really? Wow. Wow.
We went to a couple locations. Locations, like I got some water shots. As a matter of fact, when you're looking at the video, when you see the girl's name is Mari Ayers, and she was on a raft.
Right.
And above her, you see, it looks like clouds. That's actually water. It's actually a river upside down. And it's just, yeah, we got really creative with
things you can do with a green screen.
Yeah, it's really cool. And and then we just, had the band shots and all that stuff. And even the raft was a green screen thing that we put together.
She's laying on a couch and you just convert it into something.
No, it was, she was actually
he
on
built the raft. He made the
Did he?
raft.
Yeah, I built a platform with wheels, and then I put a bunch of old boards on top of it, and in the green screen room, she was on that, and you couldn't see the platform obviously because it's green screen,
Right.
and and I had a rope tied to it, a green rope tied to it from the side, and I just pulled on it, and it spun the raft around.
That's cool.
There's a lot of cool little tricks that with green screen, but it's fun to get creative like that, and you can do a lot of stuff with a green screen.
I'm learning, dude. I'm learning. Nobody wants to see my office and the shit that I got hung up. So if I'm going to promote,
you're
I always like to find the image of what we're promoting. So
you didn't have that, you didn't have that all painted on your back wall?
of course it is. Right. My wife, I said, I got to do this. Just shut up. I got to do this. And then I got to paint tomorrow and do it all over again. But so are we leading to an EP or an album? I know that's what musicians do, Brandon. You write and play. And
I think we're leading to an album, but right now we're kind of in single mode where we're working on a series of singles to just make some, to make millions of dollars now, to try to just get more attention for ourselves and build our repertoire so that when we're doing shows, we just have more fresh material and more YouTube stuff and more content for all the Instagram fans and stuff like that. We want to just try to keep making an album's kind of expensive. So if we just keep putting it out and then it's like, oh, wow, we've got an album worth of material, drop the album.
Right. I mean, what happens the minute you get on stage in the third song, you go, hey, we're going to play a new song, and everybody goes to get a beer and goes to the bathroom. In this way, and this is actually the trend, honestly, guys, is that people are just putting out singles and getting them out there. And then when you do the set, everybody's aware of it and knows it. And obviously you got to have the video because the video could go viral. I would think who's ever got the copy of the track, I would hope that people are playing the crap out of it, that you get the exposure because you deserve it. It's a great track. I see you got shows coming up, Guitar Under the Stars on July 30th, and I saw that you opened in December for Sebastian Bach, I believe. So when are we going to get you to the freaking East Coast? What do I got to do? Where's Tom? What the hell?
Yeah, we need to get out there. That's for sure. I mean, we're working on it. We're still the backlog from the canceled festivals and everything from the COVID era. They're still cycling through. Like the festivals that were booked last year have been pushed forward to this year, and the ones that got canceled,
Right.
So just trying to fit in wherever we can, and we're doing our best, but we're making use of the time and getting the singles ready and done. And we have two in the studio right now. One called Bow Down and another one called We Were Beautiful. They're both pretty strong tracks, man. I'm excited for you to hear those too. So
have you got to play Last Words in front? I know you've been performing. Have you played it live? Any feedback from you? I could really picture the people singing this song back. There's something about it. Like I said, a November Rain, there's something about it. I don't want to say it's an anthem, but it's got, everybody can relate to it in one way or another.
Sure. Almost immediately on the first time we played it, by the second chorus, they were singing the chorus back to us.
Yeah. I mean, Walking on Water. I mean, you just like, oh, this is like perfect. This is like,
yeah, it's one of those songs that definitely can do that. I mean, it's when we played it live for the first time right after we tracked it, and it had a great response. It delivered well. It was really good. It turned out great. So yeah, I was pleased with that. And it was before it was like seriously right after we finished tracking it and nobody had heard it, and we did it, and it came across really well. And we even had, I know you heard the percussion on there. I'm sure the djembe and the rain stick and the shakers and all that stuff. Our friend Mike Collins, he's a drummer here in town. He came in and did all the percussion stuff, and he actually got up on stage with us that night and played the song with us. So yeah, it was really magical.
It's a long way from off the grid. Who would ever think, Jeff? I mean, the bass player going, "Hey, can you write this? What was it? A hunting reality show thing?" If I remember.
Yeah, pretty much. That's how it all started. And I've been
Go
dragged
ahead.
down the hall by the ear, kicking and screaming the whole time.
We're like, come on, Jeff, sing more, sing more.
Go scream, go do it. Brandon, are you still doing guitar lessons? How can folks find you if you're bored?
Yeah, I have a website called brandoncookmusic.com. I got a website or Instagram, Brandon Cook _TLO. I'm on Facebook. If they reached out through the loyalorder.com, that's fine too. But, make sure everybody goes to the loyalorder.com, and we have all of our stuff on Instagram too, right?
Yeah, Instagram, and I'm still putting that link tree thing together, but the Instagram and Facebook and our web page, and there's a Twitter for us and all that stuff. So.
Yeah, if you want to go to my Instagram, Brandon Cook _TLO, that's TLO for the Loyal Order. You can find my link tree, and it's got for us, it's got all of our videos, it's got all of our merch, and the main website for the Loyal Order too. So.
And I want everybody to certainly go back to the debut album and get it autographed. You can go and probably get a bundle and look at the wonderful shirt I got. And I just can't wait to see you guys perform live. I was so thrilled to hear this song. And like I said, even though I lost a buddy, it resonated really well with me, and the video and everything is just spot on. So I certainly applaud you. It's on our rotation. It's kicking ass and taking names, and you guys, like I said, you hit it out of the park. So congratulations, and I hope this thing goes to number 1 because it really deserves. People need to hear it. And as I played the video before, please go to the loyalorder.com, the Loyal Order YouTube channel, and play the hell out of the video and hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. So anytime they put out a new video, you'll see it automatically, like if you follow Crazy Ass Pat. So it's all good.
Also, feel free to share with your friends. Send the link out to people that would like this music, because we're definitely trying to get it out to as many people as we can. So
yeah, I'm like, what do you mean it's only got like 400 views? I'm like, no, we're gonna play it today, and we got to get people to watch it today, and then we can start spreading the love. Anything else that I could help promote and share with you, wonderful gentlemen?
Yeah, I think we've covered it all, my friend.
Well, it's always a pleasure, and I thank you so much for your time. And I can't get the smile off my face. I mean, you guys, it's a great track, and it needs to. The people need to hear it. So hopefully we get you on the road. Tell Tom to call me. I'll hook him up with whatever promoters I can to get you. You need to, even if you open. I mean, Judas Priest is coming to Albany. I think you'd be a perfect fit for them.
Well, yeah. Do me a favor? Call Rob Halford, and then just call him up and say, "Hey, got my boys coming back. Let's do this."
I mean, I've interviewed Rob, I've interviewed Ian, I've interviewed Richie. They're coming to Albany in October. Who else was I thinking about? You guys? There's I interviewed KK Downing. KK's got the KK Downing of Judas Priest, and he's got Tim the Ripper Owens singing, and he's got a new album out, which is killer. So I'll spread the word as much as I can, because I think that's all that's missing is you guys getting on the road and hitting some festivals, and everybody getting to see who really the Loyal Order is. Obviously, the Pacific Northwest knows who you are, but we got to get you over here in the Northeast.
I'd love it.
All right, my man. Well, it doesn't get any better than this. Jeff Buehner, Brandon Cook, the Loyal Order. Keeping new music alive is what I do. Love these guys. Follow them. Do whatever you need to do. And check out Last Words. Only here, the craziness of Pat Calamari, soon to be finally Squid TV. We could get that out soon. But we're still going to play the freaking videos. Go out and get it today.
thanks, Squid.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it, man.